Welcome. Today we're diving into something pretty radical from the RAFT to Freedom program. It's this idea that desire, the very thing a lot of us fight against, can actually be a force for good. Let's get into it.
So, you know how we usually think of desire as, well, the enemy, right? It's that craving that gets us stuck in these cycles we're trying so hard to break. But what if that's not the whole picture? What if there's another kind of desire entirely? One that could be the fuel for our journey to a better life.
Okay, so the RAFT program frames this whole thing with a really powerful metaphor. Picture this. You're on a journey, moving from a really dangerous shore, the shore of suffering, over to a safe shore of freedom. And the name, RAFT, it's not just a name. It's actually an acronym for the 4 steps you take. You R, recognize what's causing the suffering. You A, abandon those things. You realize the F, freedom that comes from letting go. And then you train in the good stuff that keeps you free. It's a journey we're all on, really. But, any journey, any raft, needs something to power it, right? It needs an engine to move it forward. And here's where it gets really interesting. The RAFT program says that engine is desire. Yeah, desire. But hold on, it's not what you think. We've got to make a really important distinction here.
The author and psychologist Tara Brach just nails this. She talks about how the path to freedom isn't about getting rid of desire altogether. It's about a shift, a move away from that desperate grasping and craving and toward real intention and openness. And that, right there, is the heart of what we're talking about. All right, let's break this down. The RAFT program, which pulls from the teachings of Gotama, the Buddha, splits desire into 2 totally different camps. On one side, you've got what's called Taṇhā, basically craving, and on the other side, Chanda, or what we're calling noble desire. Getting the difference between these two, well, it changes everything.
So first, let's talk about Taṇhā. This is probably the one you're familiar with. It's that gnawing feeling that comes from a sense of lack, like there's a hole inside and you're just scrambling to fill it. It's that little voice in your head screaming, I need this or I won't be okay. That's the grasping that keeps us stranded on that shore of suffering, just making things worse.
But then you have Chanda, or noble desire. And this is a completely different animal. It doesn't come from that feeling of lack at all. It comes from wisdom, from connecting with what you truly value. It's the feeling of, I aspire to this, or even just, I want to live a better life. It's a positive, energizing force that pulls you forward with real enthusiasm, not that old feeling of desperation.
The Buddhist monastic Ajahn Sucitto puts it so well. He says, this noble desire isn't some kind of sickness we have to cure. He calls it a psychological yes. It's a choice, a conscious decision to commit to our own well-being. So you see, the goal isn't to kill desire, it's to transform it. And that is why the RAFT program literally calls noble desire your first superpower. It's the spark, the thing that ignites your motivation to even begin. It's the energy that makes you want to build your raft and gives you a reason to leave that dangerous shore behind.
Okay, so if this noble desire is a superpower, how do we get it? How do we actually use it? Well, the RAFT program gives us some really practical ways to nurture that spark.
So here's how you do it. First, you've got to connect with your why. What are your deepest values? What truly matters to you? Then you set goals that actually inspire you but are still realistic. And to keep that fire going, you feed it. You surround yourself with stories or people that keep you excited. And this last part is key. You have to balance it all with non-attachment. You hold that desire lightly, without a death grip on the outcome, so it doesn't just turn back into that old stressful craving.
And when you do this, the whole feeling of the journey changes. It stops being this grim, white-knuckle fight against yourself. Instead, it turns into an inspired exploration. It becomes a path of discovery that you're actually excited to walk down.
So if you're feeling ready to power your own journey forward, let me tell you about the incredible resource where all of this comes from.
Yeah, everything we've talked about today is straight from the RAFT to Freedom program. It was put together by Dr. Catherine Jacob and Vince Cullen. And get this, in what is just an amazing act of service. They've made the entire thing, all 67 chapters, totally free for anyone who wants it.
So if you want to go deeper on this whole noble desire thing, or really any part of building your own raft, you can download the entire workbook. It's free. Just go to rafttofreedom.org. Seriously, it's a game-changing resource.
So, as we finish up here, let's bring this home. I want you to really think about this question. It's from the workbook. And forget about what you think you should want for a second. What vision for your own future? What possibility genuinely sparks that feeling of enthusiasm deep inside you?
Let me leave you with this quote from James Allen. It really gets to the heart of the choice we've been talking about. He wrote, "You will become as small as your controlling desire, as great as your dominant aspiration." That noble desire, it's in you. It's waiting for you to find it and put it to use. It really is the superpower that can change everything. So, your journey is waiting. What's that first step going to be? Thanks so much for joining me.